McCaffrey, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. With that, we're off to Atlanta for their home opener. Standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Now Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And Christian McCaffrey, one of my favorite players in the 2017 draft, he didn't disappoint. Had 80 catches as a rookie. Look for him to be more actively involved in the running game in 2018. Yes, he can run between the tackles.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Third and long, it's Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Steps away to his left. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, Ryan. Throw left side, complete. That's Hardy. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. The starting defense for the Falcons.
And Grady Jarrett, their defensive tackle, not just a space eater, although he plays the run very well, knows how to get to the quarterback and provide that pressure in his face up the middle. Remember his 3 sacks in the Super Bowl against New England.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. From the gun, here's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Ryan back into his end zone. Caught by Sanu. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Newton now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in week 2. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Dontari Poe getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Poe with the Panthers this season after 1 year in Atlanta.
And he will fill the spot vacated by Starlo Tulule, who moved on to Buffalo. Still a big man. Poe lost a little weight last couple of years of his career to increase his quickness. This guy, when he's moving, moves like a cat.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Connects with Sanu right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And an alley to run. So a very tight first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the first connection there, Ryan, to Jones, and certainly a big reason they're losing on the scoreboard.
As they go as a connection, it's pure, so goes the team. And they need to be on the same page, in sync. And they really wish it could have been earlier in the game. Now they've got some ground to make up. The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now Ryan toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now it's Ryan. This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons are in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They just yielded a touchdown on the other end. Now they'll be trying to answer the bell and get a score of their own.
It's their opportunity to match. Can they do exactly what they just saw happen to them? Go down the field and score a touchdown. And to me, the best way to do it, look at your play sheet coordinator and call plays for guys that make the best plays for you. Go to the guys that you know can get the ball down to the end zone.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find it.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they'll go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. To throw on 3rd down. Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll work it across midfield. Inside the 45. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do They'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Freeman again. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Ryan. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll look to run with Freeman. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Ryan. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Newton finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now Newton on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 23, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have done in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protect.
America, real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, proud of us. They ain't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. And shorty got potential.